In the Prospect Hill Moody Street section of Waltham stands a church reminiscent of Anglo-Saxon architecture. St. Peter's Anglican Church of Uganda serves as a nucleus for a Ugandan immigrant community, a section of the city earning the name Little Kampala. Waltham is home to an estimated 1,500 Ugandans who primarily work in the healthcare field within the robust medical industry of Greater Boston. The priest in charge of the Ugandan congregation, Reverend Christine Nachayuni, dressed in what seems to be layperson attire, also dons a traditional priest collar. I attended a weekend service at St. Peter's and was lucky to sit down with Reverend Christine on the subsequent Tuesday.
As members, parishioners, individually, they will contribute to both the church and the community. We have individuals who will say, oh, I come from this particular area, so I'm going to support my church. I will give a tithe or something like that.
Certainly she knows as well that the church she leads is important in keeping the community cohesive.
As a church, we help that girl you see over there. We pay tuition for her.
One collective effort of the parishioners partake in positively impacts the life of a fellow Ugandan directly. They raise money for a young schoolgirl whose poster is pinned to the wall of the Reverend's office. And then there are the other children that Reverend Christine shares high hopes for, the Ugandan immigrant ones who live here in Waltham and attend her church.
That's a hot topic in our congregation because, we're trying to find ways that we have the youth who were born here or who came here young, because when you come here when you're very young, you're formed by the American community, and so you tend to belong more this way than there, and so you find that sometimes there's a disconnect between our congregation because you would say we are traditional, way of worship.
Preservation of Ugandan culture is diminishing in recent generations, she feels, and insists that preservation of culture is key in determining the youth's interest and future involvement in her congregation. I meet with William Katarega, also a Ugandan native living in Waltham. He is self-employed and owner of a cleaning service for corporate real estate properties.
I think I would say mostly why Ugandans we are so much densely populated in Waltham. It's an accessible city.
Mr. Katarega, like many Ugandans, live frugally here in America, and although his church in proximity to St. Peter's, but based on Moody Street, he also hails from a parish that generously gives back to their home country.
Yeah, they do. The church I go to is called the Global Evangelical Church. Yeah, we have a mission, helping people in Uganda.
Mr. Katarega founded a secondary school with the original intent to educate orphans devastated by the AIDS epidemic, a disease that has greatly impacted Uganda. The World Health Organization approximates 1.2 million Ugandans have died from the disease.
So in Uganda we have many orphans. These orphans whose parents died of AIDS.
And although there has been much improvement in the recent years, the World Health Organization has cited the AIDS epidemic as responsible for roughly 1 million children orphaned.
So then I had a vision of starting a school, a secondary school, whereby I can help some of the orphan students who didn't have a chance to go for higher education.
The school, a secondary school-age education facility located in Sitanazigo, Mukono district of Uganda, 27 kilometers east of Kampala, is aptly named Waltham College.
And I bought land, I started the building, because I felt that myself coming to this great nation, USA, it was a blessing.
Mr. Katarega says that the current enrollment is 380 students. Katarega hopes the next step for the school is to form partnerships with other schools, ideally schools in Waltham.
Yeah, the Waltham School, actually, I think we are planning in the future to have a fundraising to make it open to other people who are generous, who can become partners, you know.
Reporting from Waltham for WBUR, this is Joe Lyman.